organizing such a conference at very right time. I'm also thankful to the organizer for inviting me and allowing me to interact with such a learning gathering. Already this topic has been very well explained by Honorable Chancellor. Later on, some applications have been discussed by our Vice Chancellor, K. Joshiji, and lot many things have been told. And I think Joshiji has told what applications this can have, big data, and along with that, you can see the artificial intelligence application. I was asking him that whether this data is available online or not, but because that time these data were not, the computation was not that much, so these data were not available online. So when we do research, we take some data sets, and I'll be sorry. Much data from Indian side. From the researchers of our country, they want to research. They will take some data sets from foreign country. And it will be nice of Dr. Joshi if we can make this data available online for the Indian researchers, because the particular state data is, the complete data is available, and it can be also utmost important in research. Similar things can be done by all other researchers in this area. I'll just touch upon briefly some of the aspects which have been, which might have been already taken up here by both the speakers, because they have given the full round of input into big data and intelligence. The topics about these both these conferences mainly will be deliberated with reference to big data, computational intelligence, computing, communication, security. Mainly the big data refers to data sets that are too large or complex to be dealt with the traditional data processing application. So, data with many fields may offer us more statistical power, but the data with high complexity may be false discovery rate. The big data challenges include capturing of data, storing of data, analysis of data, search, sharing, transfer, visualization, querying, updating, information privacy, and security of data. Big data originally was associated with the three key concepts of volume, variety, and velocity. Currently, big data refers to use of predictive analytics, user behavior analytics, or advanced data analytics methods that extract value from big data. There are number of applications of big data such as internet. from this big data. That is, as has been already told, how to find out take this data into accountability for taking any kind of decision. That is a big challenge and big question. Big data management is the systematic organization, administration, as well as governance of this massive amount of data and include management of structures as well as unstructured data. The main purpose is to use data for business intelligence and for big data analytics. The initial 3 V's, volume, variety, velocity, is now 8 V's, which also includes value, veracity, visualization, viscosity, and variability. Effective big data management enables an organization to find valuable information with ease. Some of big data challenges are faster reporting and analytics, predictive customer behavior, sentiment, social media analysis, high availability, data for anyone, anywhere, archiving and monitoring, specified data management, real-time data streaming and processing, and for then using it for decision making, threat and fraud detection, reduce resource cost, and you need to decide if any organization is generating maybe such a large use data, where to store it, whether to store it within the organization or use cloud for storing this information, because it will be too costly to store all this data, and how to extract the useful data out of this complete big data. Effective ways to handle the big data. The most important is that in any organization, if there is big data column, then you need to outline your goal. The first trick is to know what data to gather. Finding out relevant data is similar to finding out few droplets in ocean of data. So there's a lot of data available, but which data can be useful to you, you need to find out yourself. So to do this, one has to determine clearly defined goals. That what is the goal, what for the data will be used. If goals are not clear, then you will be ending up collecting huge amount of data for your research, and that may not be able to give you the correct answer. Next is secure the data. The next step is to secure the data that is collected in this in the first step. It must be accessible and secure. It must be protected by maybe firewall, spam filtering, malware filtering, and it must be the teams which are working on that data, they should be given, they should have permission control. Next step is keep the data protected. So data is there is a threat not only from the internet, but it can be from natural sources such as heat, humidity, extreme conditions. So you need to save the data from there, that also, and you can have maybe you can make multiple copies of useful data. Next is follow the audit regulation, and next is interlink data. There must be communication. There must not be communication hassles between the various applications in the same organizations. We need to look at all the applications to be able to assess the data. Next is know the data you need to capture. So you must be able to know which data you need to capture. There are so many sources of capturing data. You must be able to concentrate what data we need to capture. And lastly, we have adapt to new changes. So keeping up with new technology and strategies. Maybe you will find that there is some new technology coming. We need to look into how we adapt to new technologies and use this. The intelligence system can be used to help in finding out useful data. You can always use the intelligence or the artificial intelligence in finding out which data can be useful for your organization. For artificial intelligence, many things have been already told. If we go by the dictionary meaning of intelligence, then we can say it is the ability to learn or understand or deal with new or trying situations. Therefore, the term computational intelligence refers to the theory, design, application, and development of biological and linguistically motivated computational paradigms. Traditionally, the three main pillars of computational intelligence have been neural network, fuzzy system, and evolutionary computing. However, in time, many nature-inspired computing paradigms have evolved. The computational intelligence is an evolving field and has been extended beyond these three fields into computing paradigms like ambient intelligence, cultural learning, social reasoning, and artificial neural networks. Computational intelligence plays a major role in developing successful intelligent systems, including games and cognitive development mental systems. In last few years, deep learning has become the core method of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence market size was valued at $328 billion in 2021 and is projected to grow from $387 billion in 2022 to $1,394 billion in 2029, exhibiting a cumulative annual growth rate of 20%. The computational intelligence has applications in almost all the areas of research, starting from targeted advertisement, healthcare, self-driven cars, agriculture, smart cities, financial sector, analytics, and so on and so forth. I think computational intelligence has gone into every engineering, medical, and non-medical sector, financial sector. Everywhere you find the artificial intelligence and computational intelligence has entered. Computational intelligence is used in the design and analysis of problems and their associated solution. Business is being disrupted, which will have a huge impact on the employability and job market of future. Developments in artificial intelligence, data science, robotics, 3D printing, nanotechnology, and biotechnology will change the face of workforce and will have huge impact on jobs of futures. Many new jobs will be created, and many jobs which are already available will perish. Almost all areas in engineering, medical, and financial sector are influenced by computational intelligence, which has led to huge demand for workforce which must understand these systems and create new solutions which require or no intervention, which require intervention or no intervention from the human being or very less intervention. Another theme of this conference is the associated conference is security. Security has been of paramount importance since the existence of computer system. Everything beyond your system on the internet is a dark, not known to you, and which is a big threat to the system and applications. You might have been knowing that there are so many challenges when you work with system, virus, worm, Trojan horse, phishing attacks, and then ransomware attack. Your systems are locked and you have to pay for unlocking this system. So the applications, the demand for artificial intelligence, the security personnel, and for this experts in big data is ever increasing nowadays. Not limited to computer science, but all related areas are affected. The approximate spending on all security systems in the world is approximated from these attacks have been estimated around $45 billion. So you can see how big this market is. The jobs which are already available, they will require that the knowledge of artificial intelligence and data science that should be extended not only to the engineering stream but to medical and to financial sector or to other sectors as well. And this will again put high interest in teaching, learning in artificial intelligence, big data, and security. I think the engineering students or non-engineering students, they can use the open sources available and they can update themselves. There are so many online courses available through SWAYAM portal, which can always facilitate. Another good thing which has come to India is the new education policy, and this new education policy is bridging the gap. I would urge Joshiji that NIT Uttarakhand and Kumaon University Garhwal can come together. We have vast repository of human resource which are very specialized in engineering, and they have a vast repository in all allied areas. So we can join hands, and the courses which are available at NIT Uttarakhand can be extended to the students of Kumaon University and vice versa, because we can have a similar arrangement and come closer. Because not every institute can have expert in all the areas, but together we can fill this gap of demand. I once again congratulate Joshiji, Umang, and all organizers for organizing this such a big conference in this university, and hope that these deliberations will be of paramount importance to the researchers, to the participants, to the faculty members, and the research which is being conducted will be guided towards making the life of a government more easy, so that we can have applications from agriculture or any other area which can help the farmers or the actual people who are going to use these applications. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you, sir, for this informative lecture. As I discussed that there are 3 B in big data and its analysis and some other information, how the velocity and value can be used, and what are the analysis methods, and what are the outcome after we analyze the data. And the lecture was very detailed and very fruitful to each and every aspirant which is sitting here. Thank you, sir. Now I will invite Dr. D.C. Mishra, sir, former DDG, NIC New Delhi, to deliver his address. Sir, please welcome. Thank you. At the outset, let me extend my sincere thanks to Sir N.K. Joshi, Vice Chancellor, Kumaon University, for giving me an opportunity to participate among them. And my sincere thanks to all the senior people at the dais for giving me again an opportunity to share my views. Allow me to be little nostalgic. मेरे से काफी सुनिए आप लोगों ने AI के बारे में. The tendency of people on the other side is the head is turning towards down, and I won't say what's it. If the majority of heads are turning down, that gives a message that it's time to put the chin up. तो उसके लिए कुछ लाइट बातचीत हो जाए. जैसा कि आपके वाइस चांसलर महोदय ने कहा, हमारा 30 सालों से ज्यादा And yes, first conference was on decision support system for district administration. Trust me, it was a path breaking. Nobody in India was talking those things. Details have been shared by him and will share further. But it was massive conference at ADI in Nepal and all the DMs of UP and the big decision makers. And I was systems analyst at an IC group A class 1 officer, really participating. So it was the situation. And we really enjoyed. We really enjoyed the purposes. And then again there was a learn for next 20 years. कोई है कि बात नहीं कर रहा था during such मामला रुक जाता था हमने यूनिवर्सिटी में you must have studied, some of you at least, those were across third year. If AI is opted as a subject during test. तो हमने भी पढ़ा था इसकी तात्विक क्रेडिट लिए आगे बढ़े. So the focus was on database, operating system, compiler, and analysis. They are always heroes of the game. जिसको बढ़िया लैंग्वेज आई, जिसको डेटा स्ट्रक्चर आ गया, नौकरी बढ़िया मिलेगी, कैरियर बढ़िया. AI was almost a forgotten and lost story. Of course, Tim Berners-Lee at MIT was trying to change the world, and I'm talking from 89 perspective, and DARPA project and the internet was evolving. So today people say that McCarthy is the father of AI, and the theoretician professor, academic university will say that the Turing was, in my still opinion, my humble opinion, Turing is truly the father of AI. Hope some of you know the Turing test. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask. Just raise the hand if you remember Turing test. What was it all? अरे कोई बच्चा भाई AI नहीं पढ़ाएगी. ओके सिंपल सी बात थी. ट्यूरिंग महोदय ने कहा कि अगर कंप्यूटर ये सिद्ध कर दे that they can think like human, so that procedure was set of experiments with very broadly speaking. Sorry for skipping the fundamentals, but broadly it was that if a machine can think, ponder, and visualize human-like situation, then it is such a branch would be known as AI. Those procedures, those protocols will be known as. आप लोग कोई AI यूज नहीं करते? Can anyone of you, particularly from student university, maybe we will interact you. If you want me to speak one-sided, I will go and finish my 5 minutes and go. Proposal to is as on date. The Honorable Governor, Professor Joshi, and subsequently people say that we are using weak AI, narrow AI, not strong AI. तो मैं आपसे सिर्फ इतनी गुजारिश कर रहा हूँ कि is anyone of you using AI? Please, any example? चलो ऐसा सबने नहीं यूज किया होगा. मैं तो ऐसी चीज बताऊंगा आप चौंक जाएंगे कि वो AI का एग्जाम्पल. No interaction. कैप्चा यूज करते हैं किसी भी वेबसाइट पे जाते हैं. What are you trying to do? It's a reverse Turing test. It's a reverse Turing test where you are trying to prove that you are not a machine. What was the Turing theory? Turing theory, a machine was proving that he or she can think like a human, and the times have come where we are trying to prove that we are not machine, we are humans. Sorry, don't mistake me. All of us are using AI. Of course, with a blind eye and without knowing the meaning of it, because our scientific temper is lost. We don't question. Capture 1, 2, 3 type किया ABCD capital jumbles of letter. Let's cross this hurdle. It's more of seen as a hurdle. We don't get into the details. So capture is a reverse Turing test. And Turing test के बाद addition human, 3 people sitting together. One of the finest example of Turing and the original example of Turing test was that there was in one room, one human, another room, another human, in third room, computer. And this human tester like a professor, is asking a question, and these two are answering, and after all the tests are done multiple times, this man is supposed to identify इनके पेपर आंसर मिक्स कर लिए, इनमें से कौन सा कंप्यूटर से है, कौन से ह्यूमन, which response is for human, and if the 50% answer by computer is treated to be human answer, then it has qualified the test. I also remember I read it from, so I may be really off the border here and there, but this is the fundamental test of it. So हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं? We are trying to say that now it is booming up, so the tools and technologies in simplified manners are available, and as a student community, you must make use of it. Industry and the social world is ready to help. I was glad to see the proceedings. Plenty of papers are there in agriculture and water sector, health sector, where plants, livestock, and people are trying to underwater marine ecosystem. The other day, I was reading a paper in Assam. People are trying to laser the water of the river. Flood sensors are occupied. Drinking water ministry is using IoT systems, big AI, to monitor the quality and quantity of the water in 5 waters. Very difficult, very challenging task. I'm sure you are aware that the current government has taken it as a massive project to provide safe drinking water to all the villages in the country, and therefore it becomes a responsibility to test the quality and the quantity of the water. And nobody can lift the samples every day, so there are IoT sensors which are applied at the source and at the tap, selected positions, and they automatically keep sensing the quality and quantity, send it through SMS to the server, and server and the diagnosis and immediately this is going below quality, and they then further initiate the administrative action or instigate the health department for so that the epidemic or the waterborne diseases do not go beyond control. Sir, Awasthi had already talked about fundamental pillars of computational intelligence. कहाँ फर्क है? जैसे we are being told that there is a weak AI system, there is a strong AI systems. There are strong AI systems, learning and thinking and evolving. The way human thinks. Again, go back to the theory. The way human thinks. So, based on the experience, I saw some of the chins were down, so I came up with a new experience. Let's be interactive, and I took permission of Professor Joshi. Can I be interactive? This was learning and evolving, a human way. Can computer be doing the same thing if situation becomes boring? Is a strong way. Weak AI will go as a specified set of what they had been told to do will be doing. Similarly, computational intelligence is also evolved, includes. It's a little applied part of AI where you use fuzzy logic, where you have evolving systems, but very, very recent stage to move towards strong. That's where हमें इनका उपयोग करके मानव हमारे समाज में भारत देश उपयोगी चीजों के लिए चाहे वो लाइफ स्टॉक एग्रीकल्चर सिस्टम्स हो या पॉवर्टी एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम्स हो, which was done by Dr. Joshi long back, that how to do a budget allocation at the district level and programs. Humanly, it's not possible. Till today, it is not possible. I superannuated from government service in March from the RACI, and I have spent my entire 26-year career after doing masters in computer science in rural development, Panchayati Raj. Today you see Narega, today you see Swachh Bharat, which has done land record property. You will find my association almost everywhere on the software systems. But still, we are yet to arrive on good decision support system. This is where you guys, tomorrow's graduate engineers, will come up. Such conference is a platform where we share our experience, our failure, our expectation with you, and our pain also, where we have failed. And it is your job, go to industry, go to government, go to CDAC, go to NIC, go to anywhere where your focus should always be that how should you pay back. I come from a village. I started my career like this. I come from village. I still go there once in 2 months. And I keep seeing the changes which have happened. So my humble request to all of you, mint $1 billion, go to US, Seattle, or anywhere. Keep in mind that some portion of your knowledge need to be flowing back to India, which has given you an opportunity to Kumaun. A very good proposal has come that NIT, Kumaun University can join. Yes, now new education policy gives that. And not to advocate my own, UGC in fact is not to expect to be a professor of practice. The industry people with experience can be employed by these institutions of higher learning so that the experienced people join the teaching, the research methodology in the universities, interact with students to bring greater value. America, people keep praising America or Western world. There is very common people from industry join the hands with the technicians and doing greater job. So that is the point. And particularly to our student fellows, I would recommend those who have time and interest in reading. My humble request is read the book two-sided. One is The Tacit Understanding by Michael Pollan. It just says, see, I'm trying to convey something to you, but there is a limit. There is a limit of the language with which whatever I know, I can communicate to you. The amount of information or knowledge I have, I cannot convey everything. There is always some portion, even in your case, sometimes you are trying to convey your friend, what was the actual situation in which you acted like this, but you will be able to communicate only 90%. Keep trying 10 days. 10% is still, you will be, I would have said this also to be complete. That portion which remains unexplicitly stated is known as tacit. A good business analyst, a good AI designer makes sure that this percentage becomes less and less and less. Because machine will know only those things which have been put into the rule, explicit part, protocol, rule. आपके दिमाग में क्या है जो व्यक्त ही नहीं हुआ है? Which has been not said, but you want to say, but you are helpless because language does not help you to convey that intention. Michael Pollan has written a seminal work. The book name is The Tacit Understanding of Pollan. The second book is The Technological Society by Jack Salem. Both are seminal work. One, Technological Society poses a challenge, and it talks about the evolution of technique and technology and how it is going to rule our life. It's a threat to the emotions. It's a threat to, because they relate that unexplicit part, hidden part which you have not expressed is a part of emotion, and that is where human comes. The Michael Pollan challenges that I will reduce it to zero. Why I am mentioning these two books is because Turing was sitting on the boundary of these two books. Turing was saying whether computer can think like human. It was a fight between Michael Pollan and the Jack Salem. Both are seminal work. Please do read it whenever time comes. I have a board session. I will go into more of technology, nonsense, and other things in detail with some of you, those who are interested. Allow me to pause my lecture. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Anything which is in a teacher, it will be transferred to his student. Then either it will be billings or visits of a teacher or the job where the teacher stops. The teacher will say, the student will continue at the same point. Sir, we assure that as in the life of Swami Vivekananda, as his guru, Acharya Ramakrishna was there, and we are glad that we are as gurus like Acharya Ramakrishna, like you, and we will prove that we will be disciplined like Swami Vivekananda, who devoted his life with the education of his guru, and finally Swami Vivekananda declared a very fine definition of education. He once said that education is the manifestation already present in the man. यानी विवेकानंद जी ये कहा करते थे कि मनुष्य में अंतर्निहित पूर्णताओं की अभिव्यक्ति ही शिक्षा है. And we are proud that we are gurus like you, and thank you, sir. And we will take interest in your words. And by these words, I would like to invite our next speaker. I would like to invite Dr. Anesh Maharaj. He is professor in KwaZulu Natal, West Villa campus, South Africa. So please welcome to the dais.
Namaskar. Dignitaries on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, students, I bring with you warm greetings from India, KwaZulu Natal. Our campuses are in Durban, and one is on campus, I'm not sure whether you know it is. If you follow cricket, right? Lately, the South African cricket team played in India, and there was a spinner by the name of Yashir Marad. He comes from Durban. I've been sitting and reflecting, listening to all the talks, and a number of things have been going on in my mind. We're looking at computers, computer intelligence, which is the most sophisticated computer. Sitting inside our heads. Right? Your mind, your brains, how you use it, it depends on you. We get different students. Some students, well, all of them go through the same course, but it all depends on what use they put the brains to, what type of exercise they do. Is computers, artificial intelligence, all these things, big data, many of these things are handled by human beings that design the computers. The type of programs that the computers are able to handle, the type of processing that can be done. Okay, big data and computer intelligence. What is the impact in our lives? If you look at it, we use, nowadays you can go, if you've got a cell phone, right? You don't need a map, a physical map. As long as you've got data, and there's data available in the area, on Google Maps, you can punch in where you want to go. If you deviate from the route, that Google Maps will be able to tell you that you need to turn. It's processing the data in real time, instantaneously. Evaluation, action, what action you need to take. You could go to your course. So that's thing that we use in our lives. Google Maps. I've been traveling a lot in India, and at times where I want to go to, even the driver has not been in place. I've been to a lot of outlying areas. At times the driver needs cell phone, Google Maps, he punches in where I want to go to. Other times he asks me to punch. Of course, at times also Google Maps takes you to the wrong place. Right, and then you have to figure that out. No, it's not the right place. I came across a person. This is one of my interactions at Wilson City University. This was a gentleman from Malaysia. And he worked in industry. His job, what he was involved in, was the designing and production of chips, electronic chips for vehicles. And when I had a chat with him, he told me that they designed these chips for different motor manufacturers like BMW, Mercedes, Audi. And the cost of these vehicles, we know how expensive they are. The cost, about 60% of what we pay, is for those diagnostic chips that goes into the vehicle. When you look at the vehicles that are used, they just need to plug in a computer to find out where the problem is. Right? When a vehicle goes in for service. So, you can imagine people building an entire vehicle, they spend so much of time, and 60% of the cost of that vehicle is going to come from a small chip. The diagnosis, how it, of course, it also manages how the whole electronic system is going to function. So that was something that was an eye-opener to me. As you know, I come from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. We've got 5 campuses. And as these talks were going on, I was thinking, how does big data and computer intelligence fit into what's going on in our 5 campuses? And my conclusion was it plays a very, very big role in the running of our university. We've got engineering, School of Engineering, one of our campuses. There's computer engineering involved over there. We've got the campus where I am, the Graduate School of Business. They're also involved with big data and computer intelligence. I'm sure it comes up in the research that's done, where they're trying to big data. We also got a medical school, the Nelson Mandela Medical School, which is part of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. That medical school is attached to a hospital. I forget the name of the hospital. King Edward is where the training takes place. The other hospital that was built in Durban, it's a research hospital where the research takes place. And I'm sure they're also using big data, artificial intelligence. Okay, so how does big data impact on our lives? I think it is also used to change our perceptions. Think about it. think in India, you've experienced it. You've had a particular political party governing India for about 70 years, and they thought they'll continue governing. How did the perception of that party change? Because of social media. Right? I was shocked when, this was many years ago, when Donald Trump became the president of the United States. And when I read later on what he did, or what his strategy was, wherever people didn't like him, he had someone researching what they like to hear. And the person that was researching it for him was from India. He had his roots in India, I mean, somewhere in South India. So that person figured out what phrases people like to hear. And Donald Trump, in his speeches, he carried on using those phrases. And he changed people's perception of himself. Right? They won the election. And so, social media has a big impact in our lives. I know at the university, our students are so involved in social media, at times they don't even pay attention in lecture. They're busy on the cell phone. I've seen students almost walk into class because they're concentrating on the cell phone and not where they are physically present, where they should be aware of where they're walking. I think just look at the time that I have right here. If you look at it, in the past few years, we had COVID-19, and there was a lockdown. We couldn't work how we used to work, what was the normal before the lockdown. After maybe a few months or so, things started happening. Let's take education. Lectures used to be in lecture theatres where the students and the lecturer were physically present. But it's because of the internet, computers, the different types of software platforms that are available, we are able to have online classes. Where I come from, many of my colleagues believe it has to be face-to-face because you can't teach. But during the past 2 or 3 years, they have to teach online. Think about it. There are some people who are of the opinion that not much teaching has been done. I've been analyzing the data on our system. We use the Moodle platform. For every lesson, every tutorial, every diagnostic quiz, the system gives you feedback. How many students have gone through that video? How many students looked at the lecture note? How many students accessed the tutorial problems? How many students worked out particular questions in a quiz? By looking at the system, I was able to figure out in which type of problems students require more explanations. Right? the type of problems, the type of different structures that I should focus on. Of course, you can also figure out which students didn't access the system, and you can send them an email. And the students at times become shocked. How do you know? Right? But all that is possible because of the data and computer intelligence. Of course, this big data and computer intelligence also comes in marketing. It's something that affects our lives. If you look at the television adverts, one television advert that struck me in India is Cadbury's. It was during Diwali. But I also thought to myself, there's a very subtle message over here. They want people not to start giving chocolates instead of sweetmeats for Diwali. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, I can carry on talking. I'm a lecturer. Right? But I think my 15 minutes is up. So I'll stop over here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for that realistic lecture that even sir gave the example of Cadbury, which is related to daily life, so that how we can see that anything which is extracted from big data and analysis of big data, how it is possible to relate these things with our daily life. And one more thing that formally sir discussed about Alan Turing. Let me know that the award given in the name of Alan Turing is known as the equivalent to the Nobel Prize in Computer Science. And so we hope that our students and our delegates will solve the points of this problem, and they do not let the philosopher go in the starvation which is sitting on the dining table. And continuing this session, I would like to invite Dr. Vasudevan, Executive Director, Seat of Bangalore. So please welcome
Vice Chancellor Joshi is an expert in AI. It is a great luck and coincidence for Kumam, because at the right time you have the right people. They say the best employers and employee students are the one where the technology, people, process all aligned. We call them the stars are aligned for something good to happen. So it is nice to see you here, sir, and sharing the real experience. And I think we are in the right place. And Dr. Misra also highlighted how realistic things come through. And the NIT Hamilton Director talked about the collaboration. And, not just the NIT, maybe the current policy allows, some of you know, the defense is a credit course that you can offer if you work on defense technologies. And then you can work with us on maybe quantum and parallel computing. So it has been nice. And some of the ways already talked about 5 campuses where they want to do that and possibility of collaboration. Now coming to the approach, I'll bring only 2-3 points which are different from what I said. One thing is we all mentioned about COVID, the pandemic that we went through. And there were a lot of research grants that were given for COVID. And when I looked at the numbers, they were a little bit interesting. Because the amount of the teraflops, as we call it, teraflops, the amount of operations that are done by only on COVID research. Today is the documented, funded research which is published amounts to more than 9 petaflops, which is like 10,000 teraflops of research only on COVID data. And the second aspect is they used close to 7 million CPU cores for the region. And then on top of it, there are GPUs and other things. So this indicates two things. One is the kind of data that we are looking at. The second thing is the amount of computation power that we need. Third aspect that was not openly discussed, but subtle, is the data and computation is one part. The last part is the model that runs it. This model can come through, various techniques of the supervised learning, where you give sample data, it learns. Or physical models are there. We understand the physics, we understand the mathematics, the biology, the process. That can be modeled. Modeling and simulation. If nothing is available, then we have the so-called unsupervised learning and the deep learning, continuous learning. These are the paradigms that we are talking about. So these three things have to come together. So we need one side is the intelligence aspect. One topic that came during the discussion was autonomous vehicle or autonomy in general. So when you talk of autonomous systems, how can the system be autonomous? The system can be autonomous. Automation is already there. What is autonomous? What does it differentiate when you say my automatic system has become an autonomous? Coming to the university setting, the moment you get a PhD, doctorate degree, you are suddenly allowed to guide and give doctorate degree to others. Till that time, you are not autonomous. Till that time, you are under somebody's supervision. So when you are let go free, everything on your own, survive on your own, self-heal, self-correct, become your phoenix. So same thing applies for any autonomous system. Whatever you design, you should know how to self-heal, self-resurrect. Then only you are an autonomous. That requires a very, very high level of thinking, beyond what we think. And that is where our spirituality comes into the picture. If you look at our yoga shastra, what is yoga? Either you talk about kaya, manasa, vacha, unite all of them together. The other one is how do you connect your passion, technology to your actual ultimate goal? You merge with the goal. And it was told to achieve that, they gave some characteristics because we always define in any research and learn. What is it that defines aspects? So, one of the Patanjali Sutra says, how do you achieve the ultimate state in yoga? What is the ultimate state? It is your choice because you want to reach it. It says to Dheerkale. First thing is it should be long time. There is no time limit. The second one is Nairantarya, means there is no end. Then there is one very interesting phrase, they call it, it says Satkaro Sevito. So, even for patent, today we talk about IP, your patent should be beneficial to humankind, otherwise it cannot be patented. So it was documented that time, Satkaro Sevito. It should be in Satkar, in the positive way, with service mindset. And then, Satkara Sevito, Dhrida Bhumihi, that is another word that is used there, which means you should do with conviction. It's not because somebody told. It's in a exam, they are passed. It should be imbibed inside. So all these things are very important for computer intelligence. Data will only help. Ultimately, it should become actionable knowledge. Actionable knowledge also can create only an expert. The expert can only diagnose.
Who can solve? The person with wisdom. Because wise people know something beyond what experts know. Expertise can come from motor organs. Competency and wisdom comes from mind. So there is a level which is totally different. That is where we should go. So to do that, if you want, I am lucky to be in CDAC, where we work on 2-3 aspects, where we have supercomputers available. And the supercomputer that we have at Bangalore is named Param Utkarsh. It has 2 objectives. One is to support startups and MSMEs in the NWA repairing supercomputing power facility. The second one is Tier 2, Tier 3 education institutes and location. So, I know Nandita, you may not agree, but at least our classification says you are in Tier 2, not in Tier 1. So, you are welcome to use CDAC Bangalore facilities for that, because it is earmarked for you, all of you. So, that is something I can offer. The other aspect is, we are having multiple states of mind at the same time, right? Right now, each one has some thinking, maybe more than one. So, how do we handle this kind of parallel states, multiple states simultaneously? So, then we are talking about not big but big, quantum computing, where we talk about quantum mechanics, quantum physics, then quantum technology. Quite a bit of computer science, electronics, all of them are there. So, this university, because you are not a core engineering, but you also have science and mathematics, definitely you should look at quantum as an aspect. And that aspect is something which will drive the next generation of computing. And in between, we also figured out there will be a hybrid computing which will use traditional computing as a quantum accelerator, for example, with the quantum computer. So if any one or two of you are really interested in the quantum computing area, you want to do some, if you have done the homework, then you can do some internship project. We have a number of projects in quantum area that is ongoing, so you can look at it. Though I was not intending for today's talk, but the topic came from Dr. Vista on the water. For the Jal Jeevan Mission water, there is nothing about. CDAC Bangalore actually conducted a grand challenge on quality sensors and quantity sensor for Har Ghar Jal Mission, along with Jal Jeevan Mission and Ministry of Health. Last 1.5 years, I have also traveled as a jury to some experiments and some unique places where Google fails, to see how the water can reach the last house with quality and quantity. And the beauty is that 1 year challenge brought lot of startups to do quality sensor at a very low cost, unlike the importer. So it is today in 100 villages in 9 states functional, and the dashboard is there for you to see. The idea is to extend it everywhere, and university can take the lead on such a project program. That will be fantastic, and we can support you as a technology partner. We have it, and that is in terms of IoT and smart water. And we also have micro drones development that have been done, which is coming up. Again, there are a lot of data computation. And sometimes people ask, what is big data, what is supercomputing? I have a very simple answer. If the data computing capacity exceeds your capability beyond a point, the X can be put anywhere. That is supercomputing or big data. For example, if I have a smart sensor which has to run in 128 kV storage, I have to register. And my data to be handled is 4 times the capacity, then it's a big data block. It's not defining as a block. Because to solve our day-to-day problem, we have to look at day-to-day issues. If you do that, then probably all of us will be great researchers and we can contribute a solution to the last man standing, as was told by almost everyone. How to support the humanity. That is something we can do. So there are many more aspects, but I will not get deep into that. But definitely quantum, cyber security, privacy, safety, security, three aspects to be kept in mind. And quantum, parallel computing, of course, the semiconductor that was talked about, the India Semiconductor Mission, $1 million thing going on. So those are the things. And even if you do that hardware, those who know semiconductor know that they first do completely in software. They do timing analysis, they do simulation, pre, post, so many things. So you need a supercomputing kind of model. And you need those chips for the supercomputer to be really fast and cost effective. So everyone is interconnected in this world. That will evolve through this kind of events where we share ideas on this platform. And it is great that this conference actually it started in Uttarakhand, Pithoragarh, I think some 3-4 years back. It has gone around Mauritius and all, gathered some value. And today we are here again. I'm so happy to be part of this entire conference and event. And thank you for your patience listening. And I have interacted already a little bit in the morning. And I'm available for the rest of the day. If at all anything is interesting, I thought. But lot of collaboration opportunities do exist, be it quantum, be it growth, be it security. Feel free to talk to me. Fortunate to be organization like SIDAC and being here. Thank you once again to Chancellor and their team and organizers. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your words and thanks for your opportunities. Finally, if we conclude the addressing of sir, that we can say that after enlightening big data, we are transferring the machine which is acting like human into which is thinking like human. Means we are developing a tendency which is act like human to think like human. And sir, very nicely, sir, connected the spirituality with the analysis of big data. And at the same occasion, I am also remembering Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, slok number 10. Idam sarinam kantaya kshetram abhidhiyate. The Lord Krishna says to Arjuna that it is your body, which is the actual field. If you are governed by thoughts, then you are in Kurukshetra. And if you govern your thoughts, then you are in Kurukshetra. Sir, we assure that we will do this type of research, we will ensure these type of machines, which will not only governed by people, which will use the big data, its analysis intelligently in the favor of the mankind. Thank you, sir. And finally, I will invite Professor Sanjay Bansal, Dean Science, DSP Campus Almora, for vote of thanks.
Well, I'm here on behalf of Dean Science University Manila. And since we are running short of time, I have been assigned the task of presenting the book. Right? So at the very outset, on the occasion of inaugural function of IEEE International Conference on Big Data and Artificial Intelligence. It's indeed a proud moment for us, all of us, to convey our profound sense of gratitude to our Chief Guest, Honorable Governor of Uttarakhand and Honorable Chancellor of our University, who not only prompted our Honorable Vice Chancellor to organize this event, but who has been kind enough to spare his valuable time despite his very busy schedule and showering his blessings and providing valuable input for the team of it. Thank you very much, sir. We are highly grateful to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. N.K. Joshi, whose silent leadership, constant encouragement and inspiration has enabled us to organize this event. Thank you, sir. We feel privileged to have eminent dignitaries like Dr. Lalit Awasthi, Director NIT Uttarakhand, Dr. D.C. Mishra, former DTG NIT Delhi, Dr. Anish Maharaj, Professor KwaZulu Natal University, South Africa, Dr. Sudarshan, Executive Director, CDAC Bangalore, Professor M.P. Thapriyal from HND Garhwal University, as experts of this field, who are with us here for this important international event, and their guidance will go a long way to successful organization of this international event. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable contribution. We take this opportunity to convey our sincere thanks to all the invited speakers, delegates, participants. Without their active participation and contribution, this event would not have been possible. Thank you to all our delegates and participants. We are also grateful to all the deans of the heads of different departments, faculty members, students for their gracious presence. We convey our sincere gratitude to our entire university administration, Registrar Dinesh Chandra, and all the support staff who have directly and indirectly contributed immensely to make this event possible. I also take this opportunity to convey our sincere thanks to all the media persons, both print and electronic media, who have always been generous enough in giving right publicity to such events organized by Kumar University. Last but not least, I convey my sincere gratitude to all the members of the organizing committee, especially the convener Dr. Umang, who have worked tirelessly for the successful organization of this event. Financial support from funding agencies like USAC and others, and technical support from IEEE is also sincerely acknowledged. Thank you, Varun.
Sir, beg me pardon that I pronounced your name wrongly. Sorry, sir. And now I will announce for high tea, and after the high tea, we will reassemble here for next technical sessions. Thank you.
After 15 minutes, we will reassemble here.